ngalweni ngiyokhalela bani nayi iphimbo lami liphindaphinde entabeni ngithi inyawo zami ngibeleze kulo mhlaba nemsini ngifunana noxolo ngalweni kukhalisima emaye emzini kamkhulu umkhodola usekhaya.
Sawubona to yours, from one great spirit to another. Igama lami uThulani Malevu. Welcome to Ubizo Daily. Today, we ask a question many people were never trained to ask. Not what did you study, but who designed what you were taught? Who decided which histories matter? Which civilizations deserve praise? Which inventions are remembered? Which languages are protected? Which stories are repeated? And perhaps the most dangerous question of all should be, why were you taught so much yet so very little about yourself? Let's speak about education, the education system globally not being neutral, especially here in Alkebulan. Let us begin with truth. Education is not neutral. Curriculum is political. Curriculum reflects power. Whoever controls education shapes future generations, shapes economic behavior, shapes political obedience, shapes cultural identity, and colonial powers understood this deeply. Why conquer people physically if you can shape their children mentally? Let's speak about the manufacturing of inferiority. You see, many Alkebulan children were taught Europe discovered civilization, Europe discovered science, Europe discovered medicine, Europe discovered philosophy, Europe discovered architecture, and Alkebulan, Africa, slavery, poverty, tribal conflict. That was often the summary. Entire civilizations erased, Kingdom of Kush ignored, Mali Empire minimized, Kingdom of Mapungubwe overlooked, Great Zimbabwe distorted. This was not accidental. A child disconnected from historical greatness becomes easier to dominate. Let's speak about this system that produces workers and not builders. Many education systems were designed during industrial eras. Follow instructions, memorize information, pass exams, seek employment, obey systems, very little emphasis on entrepreneurship, land restoration, institution building, psychological freedom, community economics, nation building. Many graduate prepared to seek jobs, but not prepared to build industries. And whilst we're at that, let's speak about the psychological costs. I've come to understand that this has created a rather dangerous cycle. People becoming highly educated, yet deeply disconnected, ashamed of their language, ignorant of indigenous knowledge, dependent on external validation, financially trapped, spiritually fragmented, and then society calls them successful. But successful at what exactly? Repeated inherited systems? Think about it. And just before we close, let's speak about how education must become liberation. Imagine education that teaches Alkebulan history, African history that is, agriculture, technology, indigenous medicine, financial literacy, infrastructure development, governance, language preservation, spiritual ethics, conflict resolution, institution building. That would produce builders, and that is exactly what we need in this continent. We desperately need builders, not merely employees. And may we rewrite the intellectual future. This responsibility now belongs to us, to me, to you. Parents, teachers, artists, farmers, filmmakers, scholars, traditional knowledge keepers, entrepreneurs. We must become curriculum creators. We must teach what systems excluded. We must preserve what colonization attempted to erase, because education that disconnects people from themselves is not education, it is programming. So today, fellow great spirit, ask yourself, did your education prepare you to build your people or simply survive within somebody else's system? Because the future of Alkebulan cannot be outsourced to borrowed curriculum. And true education begins the day a people remember who they were before they were taught who to become. Until next time, okuhle, umusa, kanye nokukhanya ekuhambeni kwakho. light, mercy, and blessings on your path.